Let's do a little muscle review really quick, though, just to make sure we haven't forgotten about all sorts of stuff, all that kind of stuff. Cool? Yeah. All right. Miss Trotter, I'm calling on you because I'm looking at you. You're right in the center of my screen. So, Miss Trotter, can you, this is out of the blue. By the way, what I'm doing, I will remind all of you, is the hardest thing in the world. You have no idea what I'm going to ask next, and you have lots of random information in your brain now. So if you're just like, I don't know what you're talking about, and it's Thursday, just tell me. We'll work through it, okay? Miss Trotter, I want you to tell me what the 4 rotator cuff muscles are. I know, it's out of the blue. So take a second. Do you even know where they're I don't mean like it sounded, but do you even know where they're located? Like where?
Yeah.
Good. All right, we are golden. This is exactly how I want your brain to work, right, everybody? I want you to be like rotator cuff. Yes, 4 muscles are in there somewhere, right? Cool. Okay. Well, yeah.
Isn't one of them the pectoralis minor?
I love how you're thinking, but no. There's one there's one above the spine of the scapula, one below the spine of the scapula, and they're kind of called that, but in Latin.
Is it the supraspinatus or?
Yeah, the supraspinatus above the spine. Supraspinatus.
Okay, supraspinatus, and then infraspinatus.
Infraspinatus.
Yes, infraspinatus.
You're doing great. You're doing great. This is really hard. It's public speaking while we're trying to remember anatomy. This should be terrifying. Anytime I say infraspinatus, you say Teres.
Teres Minor.
Thank you.
Minor.
Love you. That was wonderful. And then there's one underneath the scapula, just like a train that runs under the road or a boat that goes under the ocean. We call it
subscapularis.
Subscapularis. So what are those 4 muscles again, just to review?
Supraspinatus, infraspinatus.
Hold on, wait, 1 second. Spinatus.
Spinatus.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis.
Beautiful. Last question. Very simply put, all 4 of these muscles attach what bone to what bone?
The scapula to the humerus?
Exactly. So look what she did there with her information. She said they're somewhere around here. I think she even knew more than that, but she just meant that's where her brain went. That's exactly what I want to do. She named them, and then she said, basically, they tie this bone to this bone, right? Beautiful. Nicely done. Thank you, Ms. Trotter. It's been a pleasure. All right. Cool? Awesome. Yeah. Not cool? Maybe cool? All right, good. Miss Estes, what are the 4 rotator cuff muscles?
The supraspinatus, the infraspinatus, the teres minor, and the subscapularis.
Yeah. What bones do they attach together?
The the scapula and the humerus.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Miss Munoz.
Yes.
Miss Munoz, what are the 4 rotator cuff muscles?
Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis.
Awesome. Really well done. Cool. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Good stuff. Miss McDowell. What are the 5 hip adductor muscles that are found in the medial compartment of the femur?
Adductor magnus, adductor longus, adductor brevis, gracilis, and pectineus.
Yes. And essentially, what do the vast majority of these 5 muscles, what 2 bones do they attach? It's not true for all of them, but it's true for most of them.
The femur to the ischium.
Oh, wow. Wow. That was much better than I was expecting. Not because I don't expect a lot from you, but I just was expecting you. If you even took the thigh to the hips is all I was looking for. But yes, it actually attaches the ischium and pubis, the two bones on the bottom of your hips, ischium and pubis, to your femur. Yes. Do you want to know the added little nugget of information that I want you to know on top of that?
You know that I do.
That is true for adductor magnus, adductor longus, adductor brevis, and pectineus. It is not true for gracilis because gracilis is so darn long that it attaches the pubic bone to your, I gotta make sure I say this, to your tibia. It goes down past the knee and gets to the tibia. And later, that's a very common question I ask is like, which of the hip adductors crosses two joints? And the answer is gracilis. It goes across both the hip and the knee, which makes it very structurally important. But anyway, it attaches the tibia up to your hip bones, up to your pubic bone, actually, in that case. But anyway, very good answers. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Because I'm probably going to ask somebody else this question, will you repeat the 5 hip adductors for us all?
Yeah, so the 5 hip adductors are adductor magnus, adductor longus, adductor brevis, pectineus, and gracilis.
I love that. Thank you so much. Miss Trotter, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I have a question. So is there a way to remember that the gracilis is the one that attaches to the
Yes.
tibia?
Yeah, you mean the way that, remember that's the longest one?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll show you. This is actually kind of cool. All right, so bear with me for a second. Miss Trotter, what are the 5 hip adductor muscles?
Oh. It was the adductor longus, adductor, yeah, sorry.
So,
I was listening, but
no, it's
then...
okay. It's okay. If you were listening and you answered a question, I threw back a question at you. It's going to be a lot. So, don't worry, because I'm not really sure even Miss McDowell has it yet, and she probably needs to say it a couple more times. So, Miss McDowell, what are the 5 hip adductors? And go slow, by the way.
So those adductor hip muscles are the 3 A's: adductor longus, adductor magnus, adductor brevis, and then gracilis and pectineus.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, so we've got a giant magnus. We've got a long and a short, longus and brevis. So adductor magnus, longus, brevis. So, Ms. Trotter, say those 3 first.
Adductor longus, adductor magnus, and adductor brevis.
Yes, and all those guys do is adduct. That's why they're called that, right? Basically all 5 adduct, but those guys, that's all they can do is just kind of... Anyway, and then we had a pectineus and a gracilis, which kind of sounds kind of long too. So say pectineus and gracilis.
Pectineus and gracilis.
And which one crosses over 2 joints? Because strangely enough, it's the longest adductor, even though it doesn't have... Yeah, go ahead and say it.
The gracilis.
The gracilis is the longest one. It crosses over 2 joints. Awesome. Okay, which adductor was that, by the way, that crosses over 2 joints?
The gracilis.
What were the 5 adductors again?
Adductor magnus, adductor longus, brevis, pectineus, and gracilis.
Oh, that's right. Which one was the one that's really long and goes over 2 joints?
The gracilis.
Okay. All right. I'll come back to you, by the way. I actually forgot the way to remember, but don't worry. I will come back to you. I will not forget this. I remember your question. It's important, and we'll get to it. Yes. Mr. Brown, you raised your hand, sir.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
Which muscle is the longest muscle in the body? Is it the gracilis?
No. It is a diagonal muscle that runs diagonally across the anterior superficial portion of your femur. And I talked about it briefly, maybe yesterday, day before.
Oh, the Sartorius.
Yeah! Good Good job, sir. The Sartorius. Yeah, Sartorius runs diagonal across your leg, and I think it's the longest muscle in the body. I think that's what I was always told. It's long. Yeah.
Okay. That was the only question.
Well, I have a question for you, sir.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, you did. Sir, what are the 4 rotator cuff muscles that are found in the
The
shoulder?
4 rotator cuff muscles
Uh-huh.
are the infraspinatus. No, spinatus.
Yeah, infraspinatus, that's fine. Infraspinatus.
Supraspinatus.
Whoa! You're right, but you don't ever say infraspinatus without saying something else
Oh,
next to it.
infraspinatus and Teres Minor.
Yeah! Way to go, dude.
Supraspinatus, and then the last one was the subscapularis.
Subscapularis, that was really good. That was really good, sir. And what are the 5 hip adductors?
The 5 hip adductors is the abductor longus, longest was it?
Yeah, longest
Yeah,
one.
longus, maximus, and I know the word. Is it Greek with the B?
Yeah.
Breezy?
Yeah, it's brevis. To be
Could you
brief.
say it for me? Brevis?
Yeah.
With the B?
To be
Or brevis
brief.
with the
I'm
G?
being brief. Brevis.
Ah, okay. And then there was the
Gracilis?
Gracilis, and the one starts with the pec.
Yeah. Pectineus.
Pectinius.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Hey, Miss Trotter, which of the 5 hip adductors runs across the knee?
So it goes down and attaches to the fibula?
Yeah,
Or the tibia?
tibia,
Sorry.
yeah. Runs over.
Okay, that's the gracilis.
Yeah! Which is the longest hip adductor?
Gracilis?
Yeah. Which one crosses over both the knee and the hip?
Gracilis?
Yeah. Which one probably, just keep going with me, probably inserts into the medial proximal tibia?
Gracilis.
Yeah. That's awesome. By the way, everybody, it inserts, sorry, what a weird mood today, every day. It inserts, by the way, everybody, into a very weird place called the pes anserinus that's on your tibia, but we'll get to that later. I just think it's a fun word to say, pes anserinus. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Trotter. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Miss Suriel. Cannot have a conversation without including you, Miss Suriel.
Oh,
Okay. How do you feel about the rotator cuff muscles and the hip adductors?
Okay, the rotator is the infraspinatus, the subscapularis, the supraspinatus, and the teres minor.
Okay, which 2 of those go together?
The infraspinatus and the teres minor.
Cool. And these muscles attach what 2 bones together?
Yeah, I get all confused with that. I'm still not very
Okay.
yeah, I'm having problem with that.
All right.
Because for example, these muscles, I don't see like the ones that, for example, the ones that sometimes like the gluteal ones, it's like so easy. Oh, well, they're in the gluteus area. But these ones, it's hard for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, couple things. First, I want to apologize to you because we haven't even covered really these that much yet, right? And I'm dumping a lot of stuff at you. But yeah, thank you for explaining that. So the supraspinatus is called the supraspinatus because it lives above, supra means above, the spine of the scapula. Supraspinatus muscle. That's why it's called that. So that lets me know that it lives on the scapula. Infraspinatus lives on the scapula too, so does Teres Minor, and so does subscapularis. So they all live on the scapula.
Okay.
And then they're rotator cuff muscles, meaning they actually help create the cuff that your shoulder hooks into here. So they all attach somewhere on the humerus. So they really just attach these 2 bones together.
Oh, okay.
And to visualize it, I don't know if this helps or not, but if you took my deltoid here and tore it off, it would hurt, and maybe my trapezius. Underneath, you'll be able to see these guys. They're very deep. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just trying to think about it. I don't have a good picture of them, but I'll find one. Oh, hey! Oh, oh, oh. All right. This is hard to tell, but what bone is this, Miss Suriel?
Scapula.
Scapula. This is the scapula with a humerus in it, all right? And I know this is hard to tell, but this is the spine of the scapula. This is the humerus, and you can't see the head of the humerus because the supraspinatus is coming over here and hooking in here. The infraspinatus and Teres Minor are hooking over here, and underneath, the subscapularis is hooking over here, and they all help hold the shoulder in.
That is amazing. Why you haven't shown us that before? Now
I'm not a very
it's
good
like,
teacher.
Oh my God, what is that? There is minor.
I don't know.
I just like it. I think now I can see the muscle here.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you guys are rubbing people on the back, this is what you're rubbing. Like when you're coming down on top of somebody's shoulders, you can actually push through their trapezius and rub this right here. Right?
Yeah,
This is the collarbone in front. Yeah. And by the way, down here, don't worry about this guy for a second. But this is the Teres Minor, and this is the infraspinatus, and this is why I say them together, because when you're rubbing, you can't feel the difference. They both go to the same place, and they both do the same thing. I really wish they just call them the same muscle, but they're not.
But it makes sense now in my head. Thank you so much. That's pretty good.
Let me show you all one other thing, since I should have shown you this a long time ago, apparently. The infraspinatus and Teres Minor go back here, right? The Teres Major that works with latissimus dorsi actually comes to the front. So it does a very different thing. Teres Major comes to the front, Teres Minor comes to the back. So that's why we don't talk about them together, because they do very different things.
Okay.
And by the way, anybody, this is your humerus. Anybody want to guess what muscle this is cut here? That's sneaking up underneath here and going into the top of the humerus, kind of? And it's going to run down the arm here?
Biceps.
Yes, sir. It is the long head of the biceps brachii that they cut there. Good job. Wow. Okay. Wow, Miss Suriel. All right. So I'm sorry I didn't show you that earlier. What are the four rotator cuff muscles again?
It's the infraspinatus and Teres Minor, then the subscapularis and the supraspinatus.
Wow. And what two bones do they hook together?
The scapula and
Don't get funny with me.
I'm old, Mr. Topscott.
You're old.
And I just don't remember right now.
Well, it's pretty funny, the name of this bone.
Hold on. Yeah, right now it's not coming.
It's the humerus.
The humerus. Oh, okay. That's a good way to learn. I will keep it in my mind. Thank
Remember
you.
that day you forgot about the humerus? How funny that was? That was so humorous. Yeah, good.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Miss Trotter, yes. Sorry.
So a way I remember the humerus is because it goes kind of attaches to your elbow type thing. So when you hit your funny bone, you're like hitting part of the humerus. So it's so funny. Haha.
Yeah. I think that might be why that's called the funny bone, right? Because you're kind of get that. Anyway, yes, the humerus. Good job. Thank you. Hey, Miss Trotter, which of the five adductor muscles actually connects the tibia to the pubic bone?
The gracilis.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot that one. Which one is the longest one?
It's gracilis.
That's good. Which one crosses two joints?
Gracilis.
Which one inserts into the pes anserinus?
Gracilis.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, and I also figured out a way, like a kind of silly way to remember that one. You can remember like King Kong, because he's the biggest gorilla. So gorilla for gracilis. Oh.
So you just answered your own question.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Good. Thank you. Okay. So we got adductors, we got rotator cuff muscles, right? We're good on all that kind of stuff. Mr. Placencia. Mr. Placencia,
Yes.
You're in a very good place in your life right now. Let's see if we can destroy that. Mr. Placencia, I'm kidding. Let's do all the muscles of the femur. All the muscles of the femur. So let's start out with, what are the 5 medial compartment hip adductor muscles?
So we got Adductor longus, Adductor magnus, Adductor brevis, and then Gracilis, and I'm going to say pectineus?
You said right.
No?
Pectineus.
Okay.
Good. Very good. Pectineus. Okay. What are the 4 quadricep femoris muscles that are found on the anterior and lateral femoral compartment?
We got vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, and vastus intermedius, as well as rectus femoris.
Yes. Yes. So, sir, I was making a big deal with Miss Trotter about the adductor muscle that crosses over 2 joints, the gracilis, and about all that kind of stuff. Believe it or not, you actually have one of your quad muscles crosses over 2 joints as well. Most of your quad muscles just attach your femur to your tibia, your femur to your patella to your tibia, femur, patella, tibia. But one, so most of them kind of do this, sir. In a way, you've got vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, and vastus intermedius. They all attach the femur down to the tibia, down here. In fact, you guys can all feel this attachment. It's below your kneecap. There's a bump on your tibia, right below your kneecap, and that's the tibial tuberosity where all your quads go into. But, sir, one actually comes from all the way up here and goes down there. Which one do you suppose that is of the 4 quads?
Did I just mention them?
You did, by the way. It's one of the 4 you mentioned.
Okay. One that goes all the way from the top. Is it deep to the other muscles?
No, it's actually more superficial to the other muscles in a way.
Rectus femoris.
It is, sir. So I'm hearing that rectus femoris is kind of an interesting muscle because it crosses over 2 joints, and I'm hearing gracilis is kind of an important muscle because it crosses over 2 joints. Interesting. Sir, can you tell me the 3 hamstrings that are found in the posterior compartment?
Yes, biceps femoris, semitendinosus, and semimembranosus.
Beautiful, sir. All of those cross over 2 joints, believe it or not. They all hook your hips all the way down to your tibia, and they can actually bend your hip and bend your knee. That's very cool. Sir, I wanted to ask you something about one of those, and I forgot what now. I can't believe this. What's going on with me? Biceps femoris, semimembranosus. Oh, yeah! Which one is most medial of those?
I don't have that off the top of my head. Most medial?
Yeah, it would be one with an M in its name, just like
biceps femoris.
Femoris. Well, I guess they all have an M in them. Can you give me another guess? That's most lateral, by the way. Biceps femoris is most lateral.
Oh, then I have no idea, honestly. I'm just guessing at this point.
So medial and semimembranosus.
Ah, okay.
Just the way I remember it. You did great, sir. There is only one last, well, that's not quite true. It depends on how we kind of divide stuff out. But there's only one last big femur muscle left. A single muscle that runs diagonal across your leg. It actually kind of runs... What is it, sir?
Sartorius?
Yep. Yeah, very cool. The Sartorius, by the way, is very interesting because the Sartorius inserts into the same place on your medial tibia that the Gracilis does. The pes anserinus is an insertion of 3 muscles, and those are 2 of them. The third one is the Sartorius. So the Sartorius comes down here, the Gracilis comes down here, and, oh, I lied. I did lie, sorry. Sartorius, Gracilis, and semitendinosus inserts there. I apologize. Yeah. All right, sir. That's good, though. You got them. So you named all the adductors, all the hamstrings, all the quads, and you mentioned the Sartorius. Fantastic. Thank you very much, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, Miss Lobitz. You can hide, but you cannot run.
Hi.
Hi, Miss Lobitz. Hey, Miss Lobitz, can we just review some of this a little bit? What are the 5 hip adductors?
The adductor brevis, adductor longus, adductor magnus, Gracilis, and pectineus.
Very good. Which one crosses over two joints?
The gracilis.
Thank you. What are the 4 quad muscles that are found in the anterior lateral compartment of the femur?
Rectus femoris, vastus medialis, or intermedius. Yeah, medialis.
And
lateralis.
intermedius.
Intermedius.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so can you say those one more time? Just, you were correct, but I want to hear a little confidence. That's all.
Rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and vastus intermedius.
Beautiful. That was like, which one of those crosses over two joints?
The rectus femoris.
Beautifully done. Your 3 hamstring muscles in the posterior compartment.
Bicep femoris, semitendinosus, semimembranosus.
And which ones of those cross over two joints?
The semitendinosus? No.
Yeah, yes? Yes?
Yeah. Okay.
Semitendinosus, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, all 3 of them? Right?
Yes!
No.
Good job. All 3 of them. It was a trick question. They all cross over the hip and the knee. That's kind of what hamstrings do. We'll explain that later. But that was really good. Really good. Thank you, ma'am. Miss Walker, why?
Hello.
Hello. Ma'am, I want you to know, I mean, you're one of my favorite students. So what I did is I took all the questions I was going to ask you yesterday, and I saved them. And I'm going to put them with all the questions I'm going to ask you today, and we'll put them all together. Okay? And I'm doing that for you. Miss Walker, let's do all sorts of stuff. First, let's go back up to the shoulder. Can you tell me the 4 rotator cuff muscles?
Yes. Infraspinatus, Teres Minor, subscapularis, and Supraspinatus.
Beautifully done. They attach what 2 bones together? They kind of run from one bone to another?
Humerus and scapula.
Yeah, humerus and scapula. I love that. Let's see. Okay, and let's go back down to the femur, just because that's what we've been doing lately. Will you tell me the 5 hip adductors on the medial compartment?
Yes. Adductor brevis, adductor longus, adductor magnus.
Magnus, yeah!
Pectineus and gracilis.
Beautifully done. Will you tell me the 4 quad muscles?
Yes. Vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, vastus intermedius, and not biceps femoris.
No.
It has femoris in it though.
It has femoris in it, yeah. And it's got a word in it that kind of means runs up and down.
I have to look at my notes. Rectus femoris.
Rectus femoris, yeah. By the way, you're welcome to look at your notes anytime. That was impressive already. Oh my God. What are the 3 hamstrings?
Hamstrings. Semimembranosus, semitendinosus, and biceps femoris.
Nice. Which one's most medial?
Semimembranosus.
That is correct. Thank you. And what is the one lone muscle that goes over the front of the femur diagonally? It's the only one we haven't talked about yet. I mean, we talked about it.
That's the longest muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Sartorius.
Sartorius. By the way, ma'am, you're doing 2 things that I'm super impressed with. One is you remembered a tremendous amount off the top of your head. That's amazing. But then I love that when you don't know, you're actually literally able to look at a piece of paper over here and get the answer, which means you took notes. So thank you. I commend you on both. But you're doing so darn good, we can't stop yet. Okay, what are the 3 calf muscles found in the posterior sural leg, compartment?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Yes. You know how I'm obsessed with muscles that cross over 2 joints?
Mm-hmm.
Even though those main job of those muscles is to bend your ankle, so they kind of attach your heel to your tibia.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them, one very important one, but 2 of them cross over your knee as well. Do you have any idea what those are? I haven't talked about them yet, so you might not know.
They're not the calf muscles? Or
They are. They are the calf muscles. 2 of those calf muscles also go over your knee. They actually go way up high.
I'm going to guess.
Sure.
One of them is the gastrocnemius.
That's the important one. The gastrocnemius, the most superficial one, also crosses over your knee. And so even though its job is to plantar flex an ankle, it can affect knee stability. And we will get to that later when we get to that part of the body. But the other one...
Soleus?
No, the other one's plantaris.
No?
But don't worry about it. You got the gastrocnemius is the important one to remember. Yeah, cool. Cool. So we did boom, boom, boom. Well, I mean, come on, we're on a roll. What are the 3 glutes?
Gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, and gluteus minimus.
And you did such a good job naming those from posterior to anterior. Can we keep going a little bit more forward and see what other muscles we might hit? Like we've got gluteus maximus, medius, minimus.
Mm-hmm. Are they the hip adductor muscles?
And then there should be, well, hip adductor, no. Max, med, min, and then tensor fasciae lata.
Okay.
Which is not a gluteal muscle. That was good, though. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Mr. Tate, sir.
Hey, Mr. Chapster.
Hey, sir. Hey, Mr. Tate, what are the 4 rotator cuff muscles?
The Supraspinatus, the Teres Minor, the subscapularis, and Infraspinatus.
Yes. Now, which 2 of those go together? Because they basically are in the same place and are hard to distinguish, and they do the same action.
It'd be the Teres Minor and the subscapular, Supraspinatus. No?
It's okay. Infraspinatus and Teres Minor.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I don't even know how to memorize it. You just kind of keep. I'll keep asking it. But anyway, anytime I say Teres Minor, you say Infraspinatus. Anytime I say Infraspinatus, you say Teres Minor. Cool. So can you say them one more time?
Yes. Okay, so Infraspinatus, Teres Minor,
Thanks.
subscapularis, and Supraspinatus.
Beautiful, sir. And what 2 bones do those muscles hook together?
The scapula and the humerus.
Yeah. And they're found deep. They're found deep underneath the deltoids and the trapezius. Great. Okay, sir. Let me ask you a fresh question. I've not asked this yet today, so it's okay if you don't know it. Do you know what the 3 spinal erector, erector spinae muscles are that run up the back of my back?
I want to say.
If you want a hint to, I'm happy.
No, I'll just look at my notes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I love it.
Is it the Ileal Costalis?
Yeah, Ileal Costalis
Ileal Costalis
is the most lateral one. And then there's a really long...
okay. I found it.
Okay, cool.
The Spinalis, and then the Longissimus.
Yeah. So from medial to lateral, the one closest to the spine, everybody, on both sides, is the spinalis. Then slightly more out lateral is the longissimus. And then even further out, that is the Ileal Costalis, which makes sense. It's grabbing the hip and the ribs out here. So it's spinalis, longissimus, Ileal Costalis. Spinalis, longissimus, Ileal Costalis. Yeah. 5 years of cheer right there. That's not true. Okay, so what are those 3 muscles again? From medial to lateral?
The spinalis, the longissimus, and the Ileal Costalis.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir.
Right, thank you.
Miss Routson, what are the 3 spinal erector muscles?
The spinalis, the longissimus. Sorry, I was trying to write them down.
You're doing great.
So quickly, longissimus, and it just fell out of my brain. The last one.
Ileal Costalis.
Costalis.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah.
Which one is most medial?
I think the longissimus.
Spinalis. And you can remember that because your spine is most medial.
Oh, duh.
Yeah, not duh. It just, yeah. Which one is most lateral?
You're killing me. I don't have a visual. The longissimus is most lateral.
No, Ileal Costalis.
Wrong again.
So, spinalis, longissimus, Ileal Costalis. Yeah.
Okay.
So what are the 3 spinal erector muscles from medial to lateral, Miss Routson?
Spinalis, longissimus, and the Ileal Costalis.
That is correct, but what are the 3 spinal erector muscles from lateral to medial?
Oh, Lord. Ileal Costalis, longissimus, spinalis.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you. Awesome. Mr. Riedel. Good, sir. What are the 3 erector spinae muscles? We just talked about them.
The spinalis, the longissimus, and the Ileal Costalis.
Cool. Changing place completely. I'm just checking on that one. Do you know the 5 abdominal muscles?
The 5 abdominal. We talked about these yesterday. I didn't write them down.
And by the way, I want to be clear to all of you that this is a little bit unusual what we're doing. I always quiz. That's not unusual. But to be handling this volume of material this early is unusual. So it's just you guys have been taking such good notes. I really mean this. This is not something I tell everybody. Anyway, sir, so it's fine. You've got an abdominal muscle that runs up and down, so we call it rectus. That means erect. Rectus runs up and down. So rectus abdominis. We've got one that runs across like a belt, transverse abdominis. So up and down, rectus abdominis, across, transverse abdominis. That's 2. So what are those 2 abdominal muscles, sir?
The rectus abdominis and the transverse abdominis.
Cool. And then we've got obliques. Obliques mean diagonal, and we've got internal and external obliques. So internal and external obliques, that's 2 more. So what are those?
The internal and external obliques.
Fantastic. What were the first 2?
Rectus abdominis and transverse abdominis.
Cool. And the last one is an abdominal muscle, but we actually find it in the back because it's so far back. And it's called the Quadratus Lumborum. It means a 4-sided muscle found in your lumbar region. Quadratus Lumborum. Can you tell me all 5 abdominals?
Yeah. There's the rectus abdominis, the transverse abdominis, the internal and external obliques, the Quadratus Lumborum. I think that's all of them.
I think that's all of them too. Sorry, yes, you're absolutely right, sir. Thank you very much. It was new material, that was not easy. Miss Hawks, what are the 5 abdominals?
The 5 abdominals are the internal and the external oblique, the rectus abdominis, the transverse, transverse.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just meant it's going around.
The quadratic lumborum.
Yeah, Quadratus Lumborum. Nicely done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Miss Walker T. Miss Walker T, are you there? No? Oh, yes!
Yes, thank you.
Miss Walker T, what are the 5 abdominals?
You have internal and external obliques, transverse abdominis. Is it abdominal or abdominis?
I think it's abdominis.
Okay,
abdominis. The reason, by the way, you would think your teacher would know, but they're interchangeable. Like if you went to a doctor and even said transverse abdominal or transverse abdominis, he or she would not catch that. They'd be like, yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know.
Okay, got it. Good. Then I'm not going to read so much.
It's a language, and so you can actually have some variation in it. Yeah.
Okay, rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis, and the quadratus lumborum.
Quadratus lumborum. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Miss Sarno. Hi. Yeah. Miss Sarno, I want to know the 5 abdominal muscles.
5 abdominal
Do you want to hear
muscles.
them?
External oblique.
Yes.
Internal oblique. Lumbar.
Yeah.
Lateral dominant. And transverse dominant.
Okay, that was absolutely fantastic, and I understood every word you said. Can we say them together just to work on pronunciation a little bit? Okay, cool. So, rectus.
Rectus.
Yeah, R's are hard. Rectus abdominis.
Rectus abdominis.
Yes. Transverse.
Transverse.
Abdominis.
Abdominis.
Yes. Internal.
Internal.
Oblique.
Oblique.
Good. External.
External.
Oblique.
Oblique.
Quadratus.
Quad.
Sorry.
Quad.
Tus. Quadratus. No, it's good. It's good. It's hard. It's hard. You saw how hard everybody's having here. So, quadratus. Good. Lumborum. I love it. That's awesome. Okay, so one more time. Rectus abdominis.
Rectus abdominis.
Bam. Transverse abdominis.
Transverse abdominis.
Internal and external.
Internal and external.
Obliques.
Obliques.
Quadratus lumborum.
How to?
That was good. That was really good. Quadratus.
Quadratus.
Lumborum. Beautiful. That's great. Miss Sarno, thank you. We're done. I want to thank you for something. I don't know if other people noticed this, but Miss Sarno was doing my hand gestures while she's saying them, which will help a lot later because she's saying rectus abdominis. Well, that's how the muscle runs. Transverse abdominis, that's how muscle runs. I did internal and external obliques, and she's doing this with her hands, and that's how the muscles run. We will use this later. You're a very smart young lady. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Sarno. Awesome. Okay, Miss Jung, let's do, I'm sorry, we're going to do the 5 abdominals. Yeah, 5 abdominals. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. You want to say them with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Rectus.
Rectus.
Abdominis.
Abdominis.
That was great. Transverse.
Transverse.
Abdominis.
Abdominis.
Beautiful. Internal.
Internal.
Oblique.
Oblique.
External.
External.
Oblique.
Oblique.
And the one in back. Quadratus.
Quadratus.
Lumborum.
Lumborum.
Wow. Really good. Really good. Super great. Love it. Let's do it one more time though, okay? Ready? Rectus abdominis.
Rectus abdominis.
Transverse abdominis.
Transverse abdominis.
Internal oblique.
Internal oblique.
External oblique.
External oblique.
Quadratus lumborum.
Quadratus.
Yeah. Quadratus.
Quadratus.
Lumborum.
Lumborum.
Thank you, ma'am. That was good.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you. So nice.
Yes. Hey, Miss Carodi. Can you tell me the 5 abdominals? Can you hear me? Yeah. I can't hear you, Miss Crody. You're muted. Oh, there you go.
I need a new computer. Oh, sorry.
So what are the 5 abdominals, Miss Crody? And do you want me to say them with you? I will.
Grand part, 5 abdominals.
Transverse abdominis.
Oblique. And oblique.
I think you said internal oblique. Okay.
Lumbar up.
Yeah.
Up. Abdominal.
That was good. I think you're saying them perfect. There's something weird about your microphone. I'm having a hard time hearing you. Just letting you know. That was good. It's good. One more time. 5 abdominals.
Right past the abdominal. Internal oblique.
Internal oblique.
Oblique.
External oblique.
Quadratus Lumborum.
Quadratus Lumborum.
Yeah. Transverse abdominis.
Transverse abdominis. Thank you, ma'am. Good job. Good. Okay. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Feel like I missed some people, and that deeply hurts me. Miss Vincent.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Miss Vincent. What are the 5 abdominal muscles, ma'am?
5 abdominal muscles are internal and external obliques, rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis, quadratus lumborum.
Wow. You said that like you're like, I know these. Yeah. Okay. What are the 5 erector... 5, jeez. What are the 3 erector spinae muscles that run up and down my spine?
Spinalis, longissimus, and Ileal Costalis.
Wow. Which one's most medial?
Spinalis.
Yeah. Which one's most lateral?
Ileal Costalis.
Yeah. Which one's the longest one?
Longissimus.
Yes, it is. It's a really important one, by the way, because it goes all the way up to your head. Longissimus. Very cool. Very cool. Since I've got you here, what are the 3 calf muscles?
Gastrocnemius, soleus, and plantaris.
Yeah. I hope you guys know how impressive you are, because I'm grabbing stuff randomly. What are the 3 gluteals?
Gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, gluteus minimus.
Okay, this one's new for today. If you peel off somebody's gluteus maximus, underneath it are 6 tiny muscles called the lateral hip rotators, or the deep 6. Do you happen to know their names? They are tricky. They are probably the hardest
I
names.
have them written down. This is not from memory. I'm reading this.
You're so honest. You should lie. You should be like, of course I know.
Well, if I know it, I know it. But, you know, I don't know these, but I have them.
Hey, you got notes. I'm pretty happy.
Our obturator internus, obturator externus, gemellus superior, gemellus inferior, quadratus femoris, and piriformis.
Yes. By the way, I think you pronounce those exactly like they're supposed to be pronounced. Which one might pinch the sciatic nerve?
I don't know.
The Piriformis Pinches.
Okay.
Piriformis Pinches. And by the way, I mean, therapists are obsessed with it. I actually think they're overly obsessed with it. But you will hear that like every week you work. Somebody will be like, I think it's my piriformis causing my sciatica. They always think that's causing their sciatica, which maybe sometimes it is, by the way. But so Piriformis Pinches. Piriformis is also the most superior one. And the most inferior one is Quadratus Femoris. And those are also the 2 easiest to find. The other 4 are inside. So Piriformis, Quadratus Femoris, and all the obturator, internus, externus, and gemellus superior and inferior in between those 2. Very well done, though, ma'am. One last question. What are the 4 rotator cuff muscles?
Sits. Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis.
Did everybody hear what she said before she started? She said sits. That is such a common way to remember the rotator cuff muscles that some people even call them the sits muscles. I don't like that because we call one of your bones the sits bone, and I just think it's confusing, but it's that common. I would say the majority of massage therapists today actually will call them Instead of calling them rotator cuff muscles, they call them the sits muscles because that's how they remember them. But anyway, well done. Really well done. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, everybody. I'm feeling pretty good about things. Yeah? Cool. Mr. Blygen.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Did you get through financial aid?
I did. They're tripping, but we're gonna get it taken care of.
Yeah. They're tripping?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're feeling confident it's going to get taken care of?
Yeah. We'll see.
All right. If you guys run into any problems with financial aid, let me know, because I don't know if it helps much, but I go after them too. I'm kind of like, hey guys, come on. They're nice people down there. It's just, I don't know. They're accountants. They're not massage therapists. Very different personality types. Sir, how you feeling about your anatomy?
I'm okay.
Good. Okay. Let's run up the back side of the body. What are the 3 calf muscles?
The 3 calf muscles are the Gastrocnemius, the plantaris, and the soleus.
Yeah. What are the 3 hamstrings?
Hamstring muscles are the biceps femoris, the semitendinosus, and the semimembranosus.
Nice.
Or semimembranosus and then tendinosus.
Oh, I like that. What are the 3 gluteal muscles?
Gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus.
Excellent. What are the 3 erector spinae muscles?
The erector spinae muscles.
Or spinal erectors, yeah.
Those are the Ileal Costalis, Spinalis, and the longissimus.
That was beautiful. From medial to lateral, what are the 3 erector spinae muscles?
Spinalis, longissimus, and Ileal Costalis.
Nicely done. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, Miss Trotter, what are the 5 hip adductors again?
It's Adductor Magnus, Adductor Longus, Adductor Brevis, Pectineus, and Gracilis.
Which one is the longest one of those 5 muscles?
Gracilis.
Yeah, which one crosses over the knee joint?
Gracilis.
Which one inserts in the pes anserinus?
Gracilis.
Which one connects my pubic bone to my tibia?
Gracilis.
Which one is probably the most important structurally speaking of the 5 hip adductors? Maybe.
Gracilis.
Yeah. I mean, it may not. There's some argument there, but the fact is it can affect 2 joints. Nicely done, Ms. Trotter. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Miss Estes. I'm worried. You look a little like, you're glazing over a little bit, so we gotta keep you engaged.
All right.
Let's go up the back of the leg too, okay? What are the 3 calf muscles?
3 calf muscles are the gastrocnemius, the soleus, and the plantaris.
Good. 3 hamstrings.
3 hamstrings are the bicep femoris, the semitendinosus, semimembranosus.
Yep. 3 gluteal muscles.
The gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, and gluteus minimus.
Beautiful. 3 erector spinae muscles.
3 erector spinae are the spinalis, the longissimus, and the Ileal Costalis.
Awesome. What are the 5 abdominal muscles?
5 abdominal. I have the erector No. I have
but I know why you
rectus
said that.
abdominis.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, I know where you're going. Rectus abdominis?
Yes. Transverse abdominis.
Yep.
The internal and external obliques, and the Quadratus Lumborum.
Yes, ma'am. Well done. Do you think this is a good place to take a break, ma'am?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, you guys heard it. Miss Estes has decided. Let's take a 15-minute break. We'll see you all back here at 4:42. Thank you.